Welcome, folks, to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast, episode 139. Thank you for being here. Good morning. What up, everyone? Jimmy, how you feeling on this Tuesday? How are you feeling the past week of wrestling? We got an episode ahead of us. There's some stuff that definitely happened.
There's some stuff that definitely happened. Like you said, it's a beautiful day out. A day that's like not too hot, not too cold, not too sunny. It's almost a perfect day where I'm listening to music. Almost every song that I have saved bangs. I have a take, and I listened to this song about 3 or 4 times on the way here. Kingdom, top 10 wrestling theme song of all time.
Okay, top 10 I'm not mad at. Top 5 I think would have been more disputed for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not mad at that at all.
I was on the bus and I almost went, whoa! I'm like, I can't do that, but I was gonna say, yeah, we got a good show ahead of us, folks. Head over to the Patreon though if you want to see a bonus episode of this podcast. We're answering a bunch of your questions. I'm probably gonna be chatting about, speaking of music, that's what I was gonna say. Like the new Tyler album came out. That's crazy. We have a bunch of your questions. So patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling for a bonus wrestling and regular Q&A episode. With that said, folks. First of all, thank you to all the love this past week on the videos. A lot of the quizzes did well. The first Wrestling Society X video popped off and went crazy. That was nuts. Not so much the second one, but we're going to pick it up for the next one. We're watching more of that, and we're doing My GM Bros. We're filming My GM Bros after this. This is all stuff you probably don't care about. But after you're done watching this fantastic podcast, go over, watch that second Wrestling Society X video. It's a good one.
Yeah, no, I believe it. Well, spoiler. Well, yeah, I guess there is that was the inaugural champion. Folks, let's dive in. I'm kind of don't know where to start. I guess we can start at the top, or what happened to close the show. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman segment. It was a cool segment. It was a fine segment. Roman Reigns is chit-chatting. You kind of get reminded why he's had Paul Heyman for the past 4 years, admittedly. And then Braun Breaker starts chatting. You kind of realize, well, he doesn't get the mic that much. I'm just kidding. I'm coming in hot. He was fine. They're both fine. They're both okay. Neither were good. But... and then Jey Uso comes out, and a tag match hasn't been made official, but it was a segment. I don't know. How do we feel about it? Are there any things that stuck out to you? He called Paul Heyman a dumbass 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. It didn't seem like it was the promo that we deserved to get coming off of the events that happened at WrestleMania 41 and then the Raw after 41.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just it seemed like it was to serve the tag team match at SummerSlam. And sure, if Seth Rollins wasn't injured, maybe we would be getting a different sort of like Roman and Seth feud or promo or whatever. A lot of people were clamoring for a Roman and Braun Breaker straight up. That doesn't seem like that's what we're getting. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have what are your thoughts initially?
So this promo, this was the main event of Raw, and we're kind of leading up to this 2.5 hour. We're almost at hour 2 1/4, and we still don't have Roman Reigns.
Unprecedented times in the Netflix era.
Yeah, and it's just like we got this promo, and like you said, it was I think lackluster could be the thing. Like you said, he kind of threw out dumbass instead of wise man a few times, and kind of brought down Paul Heyman. And yeah, babyface tribal chief kind of not hitting for me on all levels. It seems a bit unnatural. He's still his like tribal chief character, but that character is such rooted in evil, narcissistic behaviors, where him just kind of being like, you're a dumbass, or kind of being corny almost.
I don't want to say it, but it reminded me of a promo that the big dog would have gave.
Very, very fair. Very fair. And to tell you what, I am one of those people that were like, hey, please give me one-on-one Braun versus Roman at SummerSlam. SummerSlam is 3rd best pay-per-view of the year. It's a big deal. It's the summer of the slam. Give me the biggest matches. I don't think a tag match personally hits for me, though it makes sense. Though once we are in it will be fine. Yep. I even think a Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed one-on-one match also on the same card would have been fine. But where
hey, you're right. It would have been
fine. Yeah. Given like that does kind of scream free TV match a bit, but it's 2 nights SummerSlam is, and I think you can fit main event Jey Uso, and I think as a main eventer, Jey Uso has a responsibility of getting guys over. I think a big singles win for Bronson Reed would have been nice, but we're looking like we're getting a tag team match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, you needed to get all these guys on the card. Obviously, I think Seth being out maybe threw a wrench into plans. Yeah, I don't know. The match hasn't been made official yet. It's not the match I'm looking forward to the most at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But you have Roman back. You have Jey Uso. I mean, you listen to that pop that Jey still gets. You need to have him on the SummerSlam card.
Big stars.
I just think it kind of I don't know, they're kind of lost of what we're doing in this kind of faction, the future situation,
I hate to say it too, but didn't Paul Heyman's pronunciation of saying Seth Rollins is going to be out a long time seem a little fibbish to you? Seem a little kind of like, oh, you said that on purpose for a reason? And I don't want to go into speculation again because we've gone down this road, and the road seems to be a dead end because until we get what we want. But that seemed a bit on purpose. And in Bronson carrying around the briefcase, that kind of sucks for him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's I hate speculating, especially if the person's actually injured,
sure.
But it's I saw too, Becky Lynch posted an Instagram post the other day. It was a carousel, and the fifth picture was a video of their kid and Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins is on crutches, right?
Okay.
And it's and then I saw on, I think I was posted, that was posted on Reddit, and then all the comments, they're half joking, half not, were good for Becky keeping kayfabe alive, and really, really smart
right.
to, you know what I mean? So it's there is one side of that coin that's and I think it's all coming from a good place of just hopeful and you wanting Seth Rollins to be healthy and do a swerve and do a crazy moment. It would be, and I'm not trying to put too much stock into it, it would be a generational swerve if it ends up being a work to so much so that it's a work as deep rooted into Becky Lynch's family Instagram posts.
Yes.
It would be
yes, I appreciate that if that's the case. But it might not be the case.
I don't know, because I haven't, and I don't know, I'm not seeing much on Twitter or seeing reports oftentimes there are oh, here's photos from the surgery, and I don't know, I don't know if it's been reported that the I don't know what the extent of the injury being reported is. I haven't really been tapped into the Fightful stuff. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know.
Someone brought to my attention, the last time, well, not the last time, maybe perhaps not, but I think of Money in the Bank history and injuries. You go to Mr. Kennedy, and he immediately had to drop the briefcase in kayfabe and in reality because of an injury. So why not Seth in this case? But then, of course, Heyman got in the promo and was like, oh, he has up to a year to cash in, which is true. Mm-hmm. But, there was already a precedent set. So it's if there was an actual injury, would there be kind of grounds to get that briefcase off him? But
I just think, yeah, I see that comparison. I do just think one is Mr. Kennedy and the other is Seth Rollins,
many years ago. Yeah.
But I do agree that if he's gonna be out for longer than a year, and maybe they know he's not gonna, but if it was a more year-long injury, they'd be okay, let's set up a tournament, or let's set up a thing, or let's
do another Money in the Bank at SummerSlam,
or do another Money in the Bank, or let's give it to Braun Breaker,
or LA
something,
Knight.
or they just, hey, you know what, LA Knight?
There you go, the consolation prize.
I don't know, because you're right. There is, and I think it is because we're looking into it so much that we are finding weird stuff. But you're right. It did hit my ear a little funny, the emphasis of Paul Heyman. I don't know. But I'm going to feel like an asshole when in 2 weeks it comes out and it's or SummerSlam happens and Seth Rollins isn't there.
Yeah.
And then it's oh no, his knee is actually fucked up. And it's so I'm going to feel
and
you know what I mean?
And disappointed too, because we fantasy booked this scenario in our head or whatever.
Right.
So I can see that too.
But it is weird. This is the first incident of an injury happening where people so quickly and so much have been bullshit. I've never seen something like this where something potentially real happened and fans are being you're not gonna get me this time. You're not gonna get me. I've never seen something like this. It's interesting.
It's because of the way it was done too, or the way it happened, I should say, because it just seems like such a real moment. Compared to again, this is a totally different company, a different show, but earlier that day, Saturday, Samoa Joe at All In got carted out,
right,
and obviously the way it was done, we all know it's a work, but that looked on screen, it's a more way devastating injury. Oh, this guy might be going right to the hospital or whatever. He's fine. We know he's fine. He's filming a movie, but the optics of this guy's getting carted out and oh my god, it's a serious injury, compared to Seth, which was oh, I twisted my knee a little bit, let's end the match. But
seemingly it's a much bigger deal and possibly a serious injury. Again, we don't know. But in other news, I think the Roman Reigns t-shirt's growing on me, John. I might be getting that t-shirt. I don't think it's such a bad t-shirt. I think we're too quick to judge.
Godspeed to you. Godspeed.
Is it so bad it's good, is my thing.
I don't know. They even put his old Superman logo on the neck that I noticed last night. Hey, Godspeed.
It's either that or Stephanie Vaquer's shirt. So I'm still deciding.
Oh, Steph, you have a cool shirt?
Oh yeah,
a cool shirt out. I don't know if I peeped.
She wore it last week, I believe, to help Nikki Bella, and I'm like, oh, that shirt looks pretty good. I mean, it's on her, so maybe that's why I thought it looked pretty good. But
who knows?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to have a women's wrestler shirt. I don't think I've ever owned one before, so I think it's long overdue I get one. So
sure.
Maybe Stephanie Vaquer could be my first.
That should be kind of sick.
Yeah.
I know Julia had a really sick one that got put out. I haven't seen Iyo's. An Iyo shirt would be fucking cool.
Oh, I know.
All right, well, we can jump to. I don't know. I don't have much else to say about that closing segment. It was just to set up the tag match at SummerSlam. It was supposed to I was hoping we'd get more of the Roman and Paul stuff. And I saw a comment that was like, none of it made sense between Paul and Roman because Paul Heyman had so much reason to be mad at Roman for leaving him with Solo, and it's kind of partly Roman's fault for not protecting the wise man, and that's how he got put through hell and put through the table and you abandoned him, right? My slight grain of salt with that is people were like, oh, Paul Heyman should be mad at Rome, whatever. Paul Heyman's always been a snake, and it doesn't matter what someone does. If he sees that someone is powerful and dominant, he's gonna side with them. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of my grain of salt with that. But yeah, we didn't get a whole lot of hey, remember everything that happened? Not a whole lot of bloodline stuff besides Roman being I like that he mentioned, we got a little pop for Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And then Paul's like, Sami. So
call back to the history, but also too, the whole segment kind of made Braun look a little foolish because the whole time he's kind of being
it's so funny. He keeps
held back, and then finally Paul gets out of the way and they're face to face.
Yeah.
And the way Roman did it was actually hold my mic real quick, and then punched him. It's I would have liked to see Braun.
He kept on calling him Junior.
Yeah, that was strange.
Take it easy, Junior. Yeah. Take it easy. He was a little bro in him.
I definitely see some similarities to when The Rock was a face back in the Attitude Era to face Roman Reigns now, and it's not hitting at nearly at the same level. He doesn't have the fun catchphrases or anything like that, but it's kind of the same little juvenile insults. What was it, asshole or a dumbass or whatever? It's not. It's. I think the tribal chief character definitely doesn't belong on the face side of things.
Yeah, because he and I'm definitely also a person all right, let's give it a couple of weeks, let's see how it goes. But this promo didn't give me a whole lot of confidence. The in-ring work, I'm still, it's gonna be fun. The entrance was still good. He still had that slow, real aura farming sort of thing.
Still massively over. Yeah.
Still massively over, but you're right. I do like the tribal chief character of being this manipulative, barely talks. When he does talk, he just says this real crazy, manipulative, scary stuff. What I don't know. I'm not super off it yet, but this being our first glimpse into what we're kind of going down the line with Roman as.
Yeah.
I'm okay, that's all right. That's what we're doing.
And as a fan of his, I definitely want to see him on TV for the next month or two at least, and maybe on my wish list too. I put on last night and said I would like him to have at least one television match before the end of the year. And maybe I shouldn't hold my breath on that.
I don't know.
Maybe not, but just one television match. Because again, we're gonna get this tag team match at SummerSlam, and honestly,
that could have just closed out Raw.
Yeah, or I'm gonna go into who should win this match. The young guys, Breaker and Bree, definitely need a big win. I'm not sure if they're gonna get that win at SummerSlam, but then maybe we can kind of make the right or the wrong a right at Clash of Paris and do a one-on-one Breaker versus Roman there. Possibly, but I don't know, man. The future, if you will, needs a big push.
We can move on, I guess, to. And do we just cover the rest of Raw and then jump to SmackDown? We'll kind of go in reverse order then. We had Stephanie Vaquer versus Iyo Sky, their second match. Second match that also ended in interruption. We haven't gotten a clean finish from these two yet. Rhea Ripley comes in after shenanigans. Chelsea Green and Stephanie Vaquer
kind of have a feud. And then Secret Service get involved. Rhea Ripley comes out, biggest pop of the night. Unreal, just like the roof went off the place. How come she's always in world title matches? Because she's like the most popular wrestler in the world right now. And yeah, I like Stephanie and Iyo. I think they have a lot of chemistry. I want my dream, and I saw this isn't an original take either, but so we're obviously getting the triple threat match at SummerSlam. Naomi, Rhea, Iyo. A women's world title. Not maybe 23 days later, we're getting the Clash at Paris match between Stephanie Vaquer and whoever wins that match, seemingly. It really seems like they're teasing Rhea Stephanie. Could that be held for a bigger stage? I would really like a blow-off match between Iyo and Stephanie at Clash. Kind of get that, like, they're not 1-1, but like to kind of get that final, like, clean win for someone to kind of go over. But also, I don't think it's time for Naomi to drop it because she's killing it. There's a little backstage segment with Stephanie, and her character work is really good. So I don't know what's going on. Regardless, I like what's being planted. I'm here for the ride. But regardless, Stephanie, Iyo rocked. Is my takeaway.
I was big pop once I found out this match was announced. I like the fact that Iyo, they had like a backstage segment to set up the match.
She's like, let's do it tonight.
Yeah.
I love, like, I think oftentimes in wrestling, it happens more with heels, but like you find that people these wrestlers don't like wrestling sometimes. Like, especially the heel, like Dom, it's classic heel stuff where like, and New Day was doing it too, and it's like, they don't want to wrestle. I think that works and stuff like that. My favorite part about Iyo is she's like, yeah, let's have a match. I love wrestling. Let's have a match because I want to face the belt. Like, that's so cool. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And yeah, to set up the announcement made for a huge marquee match, which they made the match on the fly during the show. It's like this is a match that you could have advertised and definitely maybe got more viewership if you were to do it. Given though, I couldn't really fully get into this match because I kind of knew the writing on the wall, which like reminiscing to their first match a few weeks ago. We're not getting a clean finish. We're not going to get a deciding victor. So, like, I was watching this match kind of like, oh, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Fun match, though. The Devil's Kiss on the apron, a big fan of that. And then she rolled in, did it again. Iyo's, like, just her emotion when she hits a big move sometimes where it just kind of goes, yay!
Yeah. It's like, yes. That's awesome. What I mean. She loves wrestling. So when she hits, like, a cool move, she's like, that was sick. Hell yeah.
And I was thinking of you watching that match. I'm like, yo, Iyo Sky might be just the best wrestler in the world. It's not a wild take. Yes.
I think so.
I like too, though, because then, earlier in the night, they did a face-to-face with Stephanie and Naomi. And Naomi was like, hey, get ready because I'm going to be the world champion come Paris. And the thing is, I'm kind of looking at, like, the picture you see on the card, and like would I kind of rather see Iyo versus Stephanie? Yes. Would I rather see Stephanie versus Iyo and Stephanie versus Rhea? Yes. But Stephanie versus Naomi would still bang and still be a very good match and something that I think could
people are sleeping on
be a big part of the Clash in Paris card. So I'm looking forward to that if that is the case. And the thing is, like, it's still so up in the air for SummerSlam. It'd be a shame for Naomi to have such a short run. However, there are seemingly bigger marquee matches to have, and do they want to just kind of be having Naomi be a transitional champion? I don't know.
But also, like, Clash in Paris is obviously a big. It's a big event. It's international, but I think ultimately it is still gonna be a B show. So like, I think they're gonna. I wouldn't be shocked if they're saving like Stephanie Rhea for like a WrestleMania. And then not to discredit a Naomi Stephanie match, but just, purely based on, I guess, hype levels. And I think Naomi deserves to, especially with like the coming off the win, the run she's on, the character work she's been doing, the in-ring work she's been doing. I think she deserves a little bit of a run.
Yeah.
So I would say, I don't know what you do with Iyo and Rhea. I don't think Iyo and Rhea should go back into a feud just yet. It feels a little too early. You can, but I don't know. I'm really, really curious. We're gonna do predictions next week. I don't know who I'm picking for that match right now. I have no idea.
Man. Me neither. It's a tough one. But maybe because I think we're going to be getting a new heel women's duo post SummerSlam, that being Becky Lynch and Bayley. So maybe Iyo.
Oh, I hope so.
Iyo Sky and Rhea can maybe team up and go against them for a little bit. Maybe their first feud as a team.
Rock.
So I don't know. There's avenues, and the women's division now is so stacked. And I totally am in agreement that Naomi kind of deserves a bit of a lengthy run, especially with this character work. But then also on the other hand, I can argue that. I don't think she's fully done with the Bianca Jade stuff, so I think they're going to circle back to that eventually.
When are we getting this triple threat? It has to be at Mania.
Right.
Bianca, Jade, Naomi for a world title. That would rock.
Yeah, because they brought Bianca back to referee the match, and it's like maybe she's not fully recovered from her broken hand yet or whatever. So I think there's definitely more of a Bianca Naomi match down the road very soon that might not be for the title, so who knows.
And now that Naomi's moved over to Raw, Bianca and Jade are still on SmackDown, so they've kind of separated them. So I don't know what's gonna happen. The draft, we'll do another draft.
Brand split's dead. No one. Dead. There's no rosters until they decide there is.
One more thing about this match, and it's so crazy now how much WWE knows that the Devil's Kiss is over, and they every single match now they do a tease it spot where she goes for it and then it gets interrupted or the opponent breaks free of it, so then the whole crowd's oh, and then now when she hits it, the entire crowd just does the Booker T. I don't know.
It's a finally main show. Oh, you're not a big fan of it? No, you don't like having fun?
Maybe I'm just being a fucking white knight about it. And maybe this is maybe it's not my place to, I don't know.
It's too bootylicious for you?
It feels, I don't dislike the move. I don't dislike her doing it. I don't dislike it getting her over. I think it just makes me a little uncomfortable because it's 90% are these dudes being yeah, give me the Devil's do the devil. 90% of the people watching the Devil's Kiss, 90's extreme, but a lot of people watching the Devil's Kiss aren't watching it for anything other than so they can jerk off. If I'm being frank about it.
Yeah, I mean, they call him Gooner T for a reason. When Booker T's made it famous going, and they're oh, Booker T's loving this, but it's why is he loving this? Because he's a sexual demon.
And Stephanie Vaquer is one of the most talented in-ring wrestlers going right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think that she's relying on that move. I think she was just doing that move in her repertoire. The WWE audience started jerking off to it.
Yes.
And then
that damn NXT crowd, bunch of pervs.
That's what it just feels a little bit, I don't know. And maybe I'm being too annoying or whatever about it, but to me it just kind of seems like a little bit dirty and it doesn't seem too I don't know. It seems like we're over sexualizing the move, and that's what people now are looking forward to Stephanie Vaquer matches, and
it's a bit unfair to her.
It's a bit unfair to her.
Yeah,
I don't think that that's the reason she's gotten over. I do think she'd be in this same position without the Devil's Kiss. I'm not saying that. I don't think she. To how I read it is, to me, especially seeing her reaction in matches when it was kind of happening in NXT or whatever. Mm-hmm. When the crowd would pop for the Devil's Kiss, you could almost see it on her face, whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, it got over very organically.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. To me, it just feels a little bit just all right, everyone. Let's, I don't know. It feels too early 2000s bra and panties match where everyone's yeah, let's see it. Oh, I can't wait. I don't know. And maybe I'm off base on that. I don't know. I'm curious people's thoughts.
I think it's a good solid take and a good point to be had. And I think too, it's kind of goes to like, how Stephanie feels about it. And, maybe she doesn't mind the whole, the goo goo gaga eyes of the men, the demographic, maybe.
Sure.
I'll say this, though. It definitely opens up to when she does become a heel, then stop doing it.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah. Like I said, it is nothing to do with Stephanie. I think it's just in Stephanie's repertoire. And I am also a person who is very pro, using things to your advantage. You know what I mean? And I'm very pro all that stuff. So my thing, it has nothing to do with Steph, and it's more so just like the crowd, just like it's like all right, everyone, okay, I don't know.
And not to be even kind of like, because I do notice these things. I do notice the appeal of the move. I do love the move. However, I think they're doing, something of mindfulness of when they do shoot the move, they're not like right up in her buttocks. They kind of go to the side.
Yeah.
But I do hear what you're saying. I think there is a discussion to be had for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Everyone, keep it in your pants.
That's fair.
Is my 2 cents.
That's fair.
But anywho, I don't know. I would just feel like imagine being out in I don't know, you're talking to wrestling fans or even kind of wrestling fans, and it's oh, who's your favorite wrestler right now? And then if someone were to say to me, oh, I love Stephanie Vaquer. My favorite move is when she does the ass slam, and that's why I love her. It's okay, I'm nervous people or casuals are gonna get too much into that. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I don't know.
You want Stephanie to be appreciated for how great of an in-ring wrestler she is, and that move is kind of, you can argue the effectiveness of the move, but it's kind of a comedy, sexy move. Over than actual technical prowess.
To definitely a part of the crowd, yes. And I do think there is a part of the crowd that, and I'm not sitting here either saying you gotta respect the ass shaking move. I understand what it is.
Cover your eyes when she does that.
I'm not saying all that either, but it's I don't know. To me, it's just a little. It's I don't know. It's an interesting thing that I'm not seeing too much discussion about, and I don't know. And again, to be clear, I'm not saying she has to stop doing it and cover up, and that's not the point at all. It has nothing to do with Steph, and more so just the reaction of the audience, because you can sorry, we'll move on, but
I think it's a good discussion.
You can see, and I think you're right. I don't think she is taking anything negative about it, but it is funny now that when she sets up for it and the crowd pops, she has a little smirk on her face now, because she's like this is crazy. This is nuts.
Yes.
But
because it is, that's wrestling,
but the people love it.
Yep.
So
let them eat cake.
I guess so.
Yeah.
We'll go on to speaking of ass, Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn.
Woo! We're on all cylinders now.
Oh man, I think I did yays and boos last night. It came up this morning, and I had a very, I don't know. I think I woke up 1 or 2 nights ago being a hater, and it hasn't worn off me. I don't know what we're doing, man. The Karrion Kross experiment, I think, is over. Great. You folks on the internet got Karrion Kross on TV. Now he's on TV and you don't give a shit about him. Called it.
I don't know. You heard the crowd? It was half let's go Kross, half let's go Sami. The live crowd was on Kross's side. But then that kind of goes to, okay, now you're kind of hurting one of your best faces' momentum in Sami Zayn for this guy Karrion Kross, who's this complaining tweener. I don't know.
And and maybe I missed the boat or the segment or whatever. I don't get it anymore. What is, and if you could just elaborate, because I'm kind of genuinely asking, because I do think I'm missing something. What does Karrion want Sami to admit? He keeps on saying tell me the truth, say I was right, whatever.
Yeah.
It's been months. I know there was something and there was an actual reason. I just now no longer remember or know what Karrion's point is.
I think my perspective and what I think it is, I could be wrong, but it's just that Karrion wants Sami to admit that to reach the next level, he has to be a dastardly heel and be evil and cheat and be a scumbag.
Right.
So I think that's basically the tones of it. Is that kind of just, I don't know, a bit bland, kind of. Like Sami Zayn's been a heel before. He's been down that road, and like he's had some success. He has not. I don't know. So I was watching that match last night, and I was just kind of thinking to myself, like, yeah, what are we doing here, really? And like, Sami had the ribs taped up, so I'm like, okay, Kross should probably get a definitive victory. And then Karrion still had the cheat, and he got the win. And okay, so
yeah,
now what?
Yeah, I think ultimately this is gonna do more, like, it seems like it's a feud for Sami, which is like fine. At this point I'm kind of like I'm over the feud. I'm like, let's get to it. If we're gonna do like a Sami heel turn, like, can we just do it already? Like, I don't know. I'm all for a slow burn. I'm all for long-term storytelling, but I don't know. This book's boring. And I don't know. I just don't think they know what to do with Sami right now. They really don't know what to do with Kross.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just like, I don't know. I made a point too in my other video of like, I guess I would rather see these two on TV in a bad feud than not see them at all, which I guess is like the real grain of salt, glass half full thing. I like the idea of Sami turning heel and doing like a totally different heel, because before, when he's been a heel, he's kind of been like half comedy, kind of just like an annoying guy. It would be cool to see a bit of Sami to maybe kind of break into that hardcore side. He does a Sabu tribute in almost every single match now. So I think maybe like, okay, let's get some maybe like hardcore Sami and some real like, not a chicken shit heel, but some sort of badass Sami.
Yeah, no funny business.
Yeah,
I can see that.
If that's what we're leading to, then great.
I think we're going to be getting another match between Kross and Sami Zayn.
Hell yeah.
So be excited for that. And maybe in that match, you do have Sami Zayn hitting Kross, because I think Kross used the pipe to beat Sami last night.
Right.
So maybe then Sami's like, you know what? F this. I'm wrestling hurt now. I'm facing this big ogre and Karrion Kross with that witch Scarlet on the side. Let me cheat to win, kind of go against my morals, and that's like the start of this new character turn for Sami Zayn. Because a lot of the lore of Kross, and I have a good friend who like has been singing the praises of Karrion Kross since WrestleMania 40, and I'll never forget saying like, yeah, you know what? He's a jobber. And like, I was joking around with him at the time, but like now it's kind of to the point where like we argue about it so much, and like anytime there's like a report of like, oh, Karrion Kross is number one in t-shirt sales, and then he'll send it to me, and I'll just get pissed. But like, I do appreciate that though. I do appreciate that the fans have a voice and they do support this guy, given though it's, I think, for somewhat of almost the wrong reasons, where it's like, because we got these people that support Karrion Kross, like I would love to have a conversation, like, what are your top 5 Karrion Kross matches? Yeah. And it's a hard press to remember like 5 like very good matches of his. And of course, you can kind of go back to the character work and the fact that I'm not sure if it was on purpose or like they kind of fell into the storyline of like anytime Karrion Kross interacts with someone, they didn't then turn to the dark side. I think that was some of it was like maybe intentional, but other times they just kind of they fell into it, and like it's like, oh, a wrestler interacted with him and then he turned heel a few weeks later. Was that Karrion Kross or just kind of storyline progression in time? I don't know, man.
To me, it's just it's the guy of the year that has been pushed the least, so people think that they are cool wrestling fans for wanting to support the guy that's being pushed the least, regardless of how actually entertaining or whatever he is. God forbid they get this behind an Andrade or a Rey Fenix or I don't know, LWO, as we've seen. They put on a banger of a match. Why don't we I don't know who else. I'm sure there's a ton of women's wrestlers who are maybe put on a little more compelling of a match than a Karrion Kross. But nope, Karrion Kross is the guy of the month that, hey, this is a guy they don't put on TV. We're gonna love him, and we're gonna, you know what I mean, and we're gonna do something.
Hey, in defense of Karrion Kross, have you seen Scarlett?
I've seen her.
Have you seen how gorgeous she is? Like,
does she? How come is she like? She wrestled before, right?
Someone in my chat was saying she wrestled before in TNA and is like actually pretty decent. So like, I don't know. Here's the thing too. I always kind of compared Karrion Kross to Mark Marrow, because back in the day, Mark Marrow kind of he was Johnny B. Bad. He had some some following, and he was a pretty decent wrestler, what have you. But he was paired with Sable, who was like Sable at the time was like iconic 90s hot, one of the most Google search women of all time, and like no one was going to care about Mark Marrow as long as Sable's right next to him. And I kind of somewhat feel that way about Karrion Kross. Is is he just an entrance, which he didn't get last night, which I do not understand. I mean, SmackDown lost an hour time and they cut entrances, but there was a few quote unquote jobber entrances last night on Raw, which I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Karrion Kross, any redeeming quality about Karrion Kross, it's the entrance with Scarlett. So given that, like, I don't know, we'll see where we move on from here, but yeah, man, like there is legs with Karrion Kross and Scarlett, but I'm not seeing too much right now.
Yeah, I don't know, and I like. As much as I'm dogging on it, like I do fully see that it's a lot of the booking. Like it's I did like the match he had with AJ at this point months ago,
right before Mania. Yep,
right before Mania. So like I think he is a decent wrestler. There is character stuff there. I don't know. It's kind of the same conversation every single week, but
because then you go back to like ideas for him. And it's like, oh, maybe he could lead a faction. We've been there before with the Final Testament. Like he had the guys behind him, and that kind of
now that we're like so removed from it, I can finally say how ass the Final Testament was. Like Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, long gone are the days of bald Karrion Kross in NXT, which I thought I was a big fan of him back then, but now it's been some time now. So.
I want, as I'm like doing a lot of like watch alongs on my Patreon, like I'm going back to like some NXT Black and Gold that I haven't necessarily been as tapped into. So like some old Karrion Kross matches are definitely something that's like on the list of like what I want to get to. But I gotta get past the way cooler 1990s WCW Rey Mysterio matches first. So
just don't watch that Adam Cole promo. What do they do to make Adam Cole feel special? They ring the damn bell. Buried him.
All right, we'll move on to if you want to see some good character work, folks, AJ Styles and Dom Mysterio is set for SummerSlam finally after weeks of Dom avoiding AJ. AJ every single week getting more into antics week by week. Dom finally getting cleared. This was peak, like AJ being funny. And at the start of the show, he was the valet, then he was mopping, and he was like really mopping. He was like, excuse me, New Day. He was medical when Dom got kicked by Raquel. And I'm using the term kicked lightly.
Yeah, I was up in arms. I'm like, wait, the whole time I'm complaining. I'm like, that kick barely hit Dom. Why is he selling it so much? Of course, it was leading into the spot that AJ was revealed to be the medic, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, it
made me laugh.
Dude.
But like, I was still perplexed about how weak that kick looked and how much Dom was selling it. I'm like, Dom, you don't need medical for that. What are you doing? Like, oh, that's AJ Styles. That's hilarious.
AJ proving himself to be one of the funniest wrestlers. Like I said, between like. He's always been funny. His funny one-liners, his clapbacks about the mom haircut. He was so funny being all his characters, thinking the earth is flat. He is a funny guy.
He's honestly, he's actually the type of funny where he's not intentionally funny. And I don't mean to be like laughing at him, but like you said, he was like dead serious in that Talking Smack interview with Daniel Bryan saying the earth is flat. I watched that the other day. I watched
it resurfaced.
I watched back to back like 4 times because I was like kind of laughing. Goes, that's just how I feel about it. And honestly, like,
and he's like, there's just some good points.
Yeah, there's just some stuff about it. Is all I'm saying.
There's just some stuff about it.
And of course, you go to like the whole the gay community thing, which like that's a whole nother story. And then
I didn't even know about that. So you don't have to get into it if you don't want.
No, it was. I mean, I don't want to completely be wrong about it, but like he was an interview. I think he was doing an interview for radio, and someone just asked. I think he was with TNA at the time. And he was, there was like, yeah, so like, how do you feel about your, large support system and following within the gay community? There's a pause, and he just goes, the gay community? Kind of like, well, what the heck? But like, didn't say anything too bad after that. But it was like, whoa, like, I didn't know that, like whatever. Yeah. And then 2, like I seen a video of him the other day. I think it was had to do with like Fanatics or something.
Okay.
And he was like getting, he's like, if I can get any basketball jersey in the world, what it would be? Spud Webb. That's the way he said Spud Webb. And like, he was just singing the praises of Spud Webb, which like Spud Webb's like the shortest NBA player of all time. Yeah. And like and then they gave him like a signed Spud Webb, whatever. And he was like over the moon. So like and just watching that video on Instagram made me laugh for some reason. Like he is just a very funny guy.
Yeah, I think
and then of course return to TNA.
So I mean I don't like that's kind of the like we're leading to AJ Dom SummerSlam. Like, our predictions are next week. Don't know how. I don't know. I'm excited for this match. I think this match is gonna rock. And also coming off that TNA return, he chit chatted a little bit with his TNA theme. Yeah, they did. They didn't use "We Don't Want None." That seems sick.
Who apparently, just like, Orton hates his old theme song. Apparently AJ's like very tired of hearing that song. He's like, I think he did an interview with Chris Van Vliet and was like, I'm never coming out to that again. I don't know why people keep playing him for it. It's like, dude, because everyone loves you and everyone remembers when you were like in your peak prime doing some of the craziest moves and matches of all time in TNA. And like, what signifies that? Get ready to fly.
Yeah.
Banger of a theme song.
He didn't really like. I watched the clip. I don't remember. Didn't really tease a match or anything. Like he didn't like. I don't know. Still
showed up.
But like I think like the match. Give me something. You know what I mean? Give me something. Oh, speaking of, I don't know why it reminded me of it. I think it's because I know we were talking about NXT earlier. Did you see? I guess The Undertaker is going to be on NXT tonight to confront Trick Williams. Did you see that?
So I did.
And do you know the story about it?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
The chat let me know last night. They said apparently Trick was dissing the LFG trainee boys, and then I seen Trick's promo that wasn't aired on Netflix. That for my version of Netflix, but it was aired on like I think the international Netflix.
Yeah,
I saw it on social media, and it seemed a pretty good fiery promo. And like, of course, you name drop, and then you honestly shout out Vic Joseph. I think like I watched. He was the one interviewing Trick during the segment, and like he was like very well spoken and kind of had a lot of like charisma himself, where I thought like even he kind of shined in the segment too. I think he might be the future Michael Cole. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of, projecting a little bit, but like I think Vic Joseph got it. Anyway, but that segment I thought was pretty effective. Anytime you name drop The Undertaker, it feels like a big deal. But I know what The Undertaker looks like now. I know The Undertaker won't be having no matches, and any physicality The Undertaker does have, I have to roll my eyes a little bit because, like, what are you going to be burying? The TNA World Champion, NXT protege? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm. Is it enough for me to watch NXT tonight? Maybe. So the accomplish mission there, but I don't know.
It just to me it just seems very silly that like Coach Undertaker is so enthralled in his LFG team that he's like needing to go and confront Trick Williams for talking shit about the reality show. I don't know. It seems silly to me.
It's very Randy Orton caring so much about Jelly Roll-ish.
Sure,
It's kind of random.
You're disrespect. He won Grammys. I don't know. All right, we'll move on to all this Becky, Lyra, Bayley, and the tag match sort of stuff. Last night, we had Becky Lynch promo. Lyra comes in. Obviously, they're kind of hyping up their match for SummerSlam. And then we got Bayley and Lyra teaming up for some fucking reason because Bayley didn't Bayley beat down Lyra last week.
They've been feuding. They're at each other's necks, but then Bayley got the match made.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Against Raquel and Roxanne. Raquel and Roxanne, I think, shined here. I think they've really proved themselves as a, obviously due to unfortunate circumstances with the Liv Morgan stuff, but like Raquel and Roxanne are really killing it, especially given the circumstances. Becky interrupted the match, as kind of expected. I think this is the third interruption of the night. And then, I don't know. Well,
because they did the segment in the ring before the match, and Lyra lays out Becky, and then the match then begins, and it's like, isn't Becky just going to get up eventually and then attack? And then they did the whole gimmick of like Becky being under the ring and then interfering. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was a very solid match. Kevin Nash, shout out Kevin Nash, speaking some wisdom into Raquel Rodriguez, telling her to work big, and it's showing in her work. I was already a fan of Raquel Rodriguez before this criticism, but honestly, shout out to her for getting criticism or getting some constructive feedback and taking it into consideration and respecting the vets of the industry, unlike some people I know. And we'll go into that, but this is a very solid match. It was good stuff, and a bit unfortunate that Becky had to ruin it, another interference on a televised match. And like, the storyline of like, why, and Bayley too, like, I don't know if she smoked a joint right before, but she was all like very up in arms and happy to be tagging with Lyra after feuding for the mid-card strap for a bit. It was a bit surprising, but a fun match nonetheless.
Yeah, I even like, I'm not really sure. Every single week, people's opinion of Becky Lynch changes. I like this version of Becky. I like this Becky Lynch promo. I like her leaning into like, oh, you're gonna call me Becky Hogan? Cool. Like, I'll be Becky Hogan. I'll win titles. I'll win matches.
I'll rock the red and yellow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did. She did rock the. That's so good. That's.
I want her
Aussie,
too
Aussie
for her SummerSlam gear. You ever see like the Hollywood Hogan boots that he wore when he was the Hollywood Hogan with like his face on it?
Airbrush.
The airbrush. I need the airbrush Becky Lynch face on her boots at SummerSlam. That's my goal or my wish.
This match will be fun. Lyra is impressive more and more every single week, even to the point of when you're talking about Raquel. I'm becoming a Raquel fan. Not that it has anything to do with the SummerSlam match, but I'm becoming a Raquel fan more and more each week as well. But I don't know. I mean, it's now during the promo they said Lyra said it's gonna be a no DQ now. It's gonna be no count out, no DQ. So I mean, we're getting Bayley involvement, like we're getting shenanigans.
Yeah, we are.
Kind of,
yes,
sends that home. But I don't know. I think at the end of the day, watch Happy Gilmore 2 streaming on July 26th.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm sure
I can't wait. I mean, it's just kind of jarring to me. That's like it's gonna be released right on Netflix. No movie theater premiere. So that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm always skeptical about especially Adam Sandler straight to Netflix stuff. It's gonna be a bad movie. It's gonna be a horrible movie.
It's gonna be a lot of celebrities in it, a lot of memes, I'm sure.
I think
a couple wrestlers.
It'll be a fun time. It'll be a like, wow, I can't believe they're really doing this to the original Happy Gilmore. That sucks.
90s callback, nostalgia.
Speaking of stuff on Netflix, did you see? We don't have to talk about it too much. I think I kind of know your perspective on it, but this WWE Unreal show, they showed a clip last night that I thought was very funny. They showed which I think I know it's out of context, but sorry, I'm taking notes as I were kind of doing this at the same time. They showed they did a WWE Unreal promo, and the clip they choose to show was Speed entering the Rumble, and they did the whole thing of like Tozawa being injured, and then Triple H going like, "You need to enter the Rumble." And like they did that whole thing, and then the only footage that was new was cutting back to backstage with like Stephanie and Triple H smiling, kind of like pumping their fists or whatever. So like the commercial gives off almost that they're trying to trying to portray that Speed entering the Rumble was like a legit thing. Like I know that's not gonna be the case, but like it was a weird commercial to promote the show.
Weird clip to show. Yeah, it almost kind of made it seem like it was real, which is the whole point of the show is like unreal. And yeah, my opinion on it.
It's gonna be such a propaganda.
I won't be watching it. I refuse to watch this. It hurts. It's coming out on my birthday of all things. So a little insult to injury there. Respect the business, brother. One clip I did see, and again, like I'm trying not to see any of this because like to me it's like it's not something I preferred that they do or make. But I did see they were kind of, I think it was before a PLE. It's like Charlotte in the ring getting ready, and CM Punk's to the side. It's like, yo, Charlotte, you ever shit your pants in the ring?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And Charlotte's like, no. I mean, I peed a little before. Like, okay, that's funny, but like, I don't know. It's not for me. But
I'll for the sake of curiosity, I think I'm at least gonna watch episode 1.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna make a video. Like I'll probably I did the same thing for the first episode of LFG where I kind of just like reviewed it and like so like at minimum. Out of curiosity, I'll probably watch episode 1, solely just make a video of just like, is it good?
Yeah.
Or like, what's the, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. As much as I do like seeing like behind the scenes stuff, and I've said this before, where it's like, it's part of the reason why I've kind of enjoyed the first few seasons of like a Total Divas, because just seeing like the cameras backstage, seeing like, oh, like during this very scripted Total Divas segment backstage, oh, there's Rusev and so and so hanging out, and like you get like cool little some real moments. I don't necessarily need to see the writers' room and hear the writers being like, oh no, like turning John Cena heel will be a good idea. And I don't need John Cena to be, which he's already done it on like interviews and stuff. Or I think he was on like a press junket and Cena was like talking pretty candidly about like him turning heel and being a bad guy. So I don't know. I'm curious enough to. I don't think it's gonna be like it is a WWE produced show, so like the curtain is gonna be barely pulled back. But
that's the thing. Like I would less mind it if it wasn't the WWE producing the show. If it was like producing the show or a different company.
If it was way more like a documentary style, then it's a different
So
thing.
they're going to pull back the curtain and show things that they want to show, not necessarily things that if they will pull back the curtain all the way and we see things that they wouldn't want out perhaps, then I'd be more interested. But there's 0% chance of that happening. So it's like you're going to expose the business and not show things that would, perhaps negatively affect you. It's all going to be, pro happy-go-lucky propaganda that they want us to see. So, I don't know.
We'll move on to a lighter note, more unexpected note. LWO pick up the W.
Big win.
This rocks. I think they were the least expected team. They didn't even get an entrance, as you were kind of mentioning.
Yeah.
But fucking Joaquin Wild, baby.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, I've heard people say it. Joaquin Wild went crazy. He saw he had an opportunity. He went nuts. There was like a sick move where he he hit someone else into, I'm being vague about it, but he hit someone else into someone else's arm for a DDT position and then hit like almost like a Dolph Ziggler fucking, I don't know, a showstopper, whatever the fuck it's called. And I don't know, just
zigzag.
Like almost sort of thing. A lot of top rope moves, a lot of crazy fast sequences. This guy went fucking crazy.
Yeah, they ball hard.
Which I really appreciate him just and this is me just, speaking like I know anything, but I love him. It's seemingly he saw an opportunity. He's like, we're going to win this match. Let's show people that we can fucking go. This was a real fun time. It sucks that they're going to lose to the Judgment Day, whatever this match is happening next week or the week after, whatever. Which is, I think, to be honest with you, I think is not to be a glass half empty person about it. Like, I feel like I've been a lot of this episode, but LWO may have just won just so Judgment Day can beat a team.
Yeah, and that's fine. you have to have. See, that's
have winners and losers.
That's one of the big criticisms of the tag division. Sometimes is like you don't create opportunities or storylines for them to have matches. There's been a few reigns where I think the New Day only defend the title like one time during their reigns. So you got to have matches to then create other matches, and then that's I think a good point of yours. Like, this might be just to set up them losing to the Judgment Day, but hell, they maybe care about them. And honestly, I'll be watching that match and rooting for them because
it'll be a fun match.
Because of them, how much they showed out during this match. And I remember too, I forget what. How many weeks ago it was, but they showed out, and I remember telling you, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure, I remember each individual's name because they deserve it instead of just being, the LWO guys or background fodder or whatever. This is Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild. I mean, I messed up last night and called him Joaquin Phoenix, but given it's a classic mix-up. Candice Michelle, Candice LeRae, it happens. These guys balled out, and hey, man, I'm not against them beating the Judgment Day. I don't care about the Judgment Day that much.
No, I would prefer them to beat the Judgment Day, but I would bet the house they don't.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But you never know.
You never know.
Here's the thing. You gotta have the match to know.
I didn't think they were winning this match. I thought they were the least likely, and they won.
Yeah. So also, a little disappointed that the Creed brothers didn't win. But the thing is, too, you gotta have a face versus heel dynamic usually. So that I couldn't imagine
my GM mode.
My GM mode. Good shout. And the only face team in this match was the LWO. So it did make sense at the end of the day. And I'm looking forward to it.
Something that we're gonna jump to this. I almost forgot. Really curious on your thoughts about A-Town Down Under breaking up off screen. What in the world are we doing?
How fucking dare you? What? After all this time, after tease,
I saw like 500 something days.
Are you serious? Do they
over a year for sure?
Here's the thing, and this might be just the writing on the wall for these boys. They might be done. They might. I mean, that we've seen Grayson Waller then kiss up to the New Day, and they're apparently Grayson Waller is going to be the new Big E, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then in the New Day, there's a new alliance to be made there. Apparently, that's what they did on screen. But the fact that they are doing a off-screen breakup, and again, if Theory is actually injured, then sure. Right. But why not do a fucking stupid Grayson Waller talk show segment? Have Grayson Waller beat the bag out of Theory, generate some heat. And give him a purpose to his character, so when we see him, we want to boo him even more. No, we're just gonna let's forget it.
That's my sentiment too. It's like I don't
What?
It kind of goes back to like we were talking about the Seth Rollins injury. I don't know who's actually injured. Great, they've both been off TV for a while. I haven't heard anything of an Austin Theory legit injury.
I seen him balling on main event, so maybe he got hurt wrestling a good match on main event. But like,
you watch main event?
I don't watch. I seen highlights.
Oh, so holy shit.
Actually, you know what? I do watch main event.
I watch every piece of wrestling that comes out. So I don't like whether it's like. If it's a legit injury and it's so serious that they need to scrap it, but like even if it was a legit injury, wait till he comes back or like you said, do some sort of on-screen thing. But the fact that and like we're a year and a half is what we're building up to this split. Austin Theory finally face turn, doing something with him to just for Grayson Waller to be on camera to be like, hey man, remember A-Town Down Under? That's dumb. That dumbass went and got himself injured, so I dumped that loser. And that was the turn. That was the breakup. Oh my god, crazy.
Austin Theory beat John Cena at WrestleMania. Austin Theory has beaten a plethora of former world champions, and he's in this tag team for how long? Mm-hmm. And they teased the breakup for how long? Where it's like almost like I almost appreciated this whole ongoing saga of like, will they, won't they ever break up? And then like you don't do nothing to capitalize that on whatsoever. Makes me feel like they don't give a damn about either of these boys.
And here's the thing: as someone who has never drank the Austin Theory Kool-Aid, never got it. Never was into it outside of the TV show. Fully understand he's a very talented person, right?
Yes. You see the potential, which is like, potential is just another word for having done shit yet.
Barely.
Really? I mean, you don't see like a young, like Randy Orton in him? I mean, the comparison, really?
No, not at all. No. But point being is like, I see that he it's kind of where I toe the line of like what's real and what's not. Where it's like whenever I watch TV show, I never thought he had a good character. Don't think he's that good on the mic. He's a very good wrestler in 2025. Everyone's a very good wrestler in 2025.
Sure.
There's not much special to him that I thought. That's all in TV character stuff to be clear. But then outside looking at the lens, like the actual person who plays the Austin Theory character, I see that, oh yeah, he is a talented person and everyone has potential and blah, blah. Just to be clear of who I'm dogging on here and what I'm dogging on. However, my point being in saying all that, I'm not drinking the Austin Theory Kool-Aid, is this was the moment of like, all right, like I'm going to get swayed. I'm going to get turned around. If they do this right, because this feud's been building and they do this turn and they start giving Austin Theory bangers and putting some respect on him, I am fully ready to start chugging that Austin Theory Kool-Aid. I was ready to be an Austin Theory guy, believer, truther. Mm-hmm. And I'm disappointed that they took that from me. I wanted to, I'm very open to be, I was a Damian Priest hater, became a Damian Priest fan. I was an LA Knight hater.
Still are.
And then so I'm kidding.
That's fair. That's fair. No, I mean, I think you make some good points.
I was very open.
Yeah.
I was very ready because I do see this guy. He's a young guy. He's got a hot bod.
Yeah.
He's talented. He's athletic. And I've seen that, and we don't have to get too into this, but like there's such a big discourse also that he was maybe a hand-chosen guy under a different regime. Is that a sort of unfortunate punishment? And again, we don't know what's behind these doors, like whatever, it's all speculation, but like
that's a good point.
I don't know. But also like, was he really the hand-chosen guy? Because like he was, but like was he really doing anything much better back then? You know what I mean?
I think everything kind of shit hit the fan when he had the Money in the Bank and cashed in on the United States fucking championship and then lost that match on top of that. That was kind of like, death being at the door in a sense. And then you go back to him being hand chosen by that one person. And I immediately was already thinking like, a few weeks ago, like how can we kind of do the rehab of his career, Theory's career, and you given now how like the WWE's relationship with TNA. And this is before Trick Williams won the TNA championship. I'm like, have Austin Theory
that'd be sick.
Have Theory go to TNA and win the TNA championship because now I can't help but to feel like this is kind of like the modern day Drew McIntyre, where like Drew initially was also the hand chosen one by that same person that we're referring to, and he floundered, and he got opportunities but never grabbed the brass ring, seemingly leading up to his release. And then of course Drew Galloway then made a name for himself on other companies, came back like a freaking Terminator 5 motherfucker beast dude, and was undeniable and became the MVP of the pandemic and is the Drew McIntyre that we love here today. Austin Theory, I think, can lead the same type of career path where it might take him to leave this fine wrestling organization or do something completely out of the box where you go to TNA, you go to maybe, I mean, I don't want to point to say AEW, because if he goes to AEW, then he might be there for a while, or just the indies and work stuff out and find your character, find your niche, and rebuild yourself like a Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
because what the hell, man? Non-televised tag team breakup. That's where we're at now. I don't know. He's still so young, so it's like, damn. But
yeah, no, I think you're onto something with the hey. Maybe you need to just do a big swerve, like you said, like leave the company, build yourself up, whatever, take a risk on yourself. I don't know. I think I also just don't like his beard. I think there's a lot. I think his beard looks gross. It's kind of my part of my thing. Shave that, and then
somehow go back in time and job the Cena at WrestleMania 39, because that's still jarring to me.
But yeah, it's jokes aside, it's shocking, and like we're not doing anything. People are like, I've seen people worried about like Grayson Waller and New Day. And, oh no, like New Day shouldn't have Grayson Waller. Whatever. I'll tell you this, hey. Grayson Waller's not going to be a part of New Day. They're going to do a silly little thing for 3 weeks, and Waller's going to be like, I want to be with you guys. And then, don't worry. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to come of it. He's not going to be a new member of the New Day. So it's fine. I don't know. We'll move on to what's better than fine. What I would say is even great. Sheamus versus Rusev, baby. This was a fun time. Let's get this best of 7 going, huh?
I'm glad you had fun.
Now you didn't like it?
I liked it. This is, of course, the match type for me. 2 big brolic men that look like they're from a bygone era. Yeah. I just think
it didn't sniff their prior match.
No, it didn't.
And
not also, I remember when the Accolade used to finish matches, and now you're having veteran 15-year plus guy Sheamus.
Oh,
get out of it.
Oh, stop it.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm a big Rusev fan, so this kind of hurts me for me as a big Rusev fan. I'm like, here is Rusev now taking a loss to this veteran Sheamus, who, I don't know, man. This isn't 15 years ago. This isn't 10 years ago. This is 2025 Sheamus. And Rusev now, how am I supposed to take him seriously if he has an eventual feud with Penta or Cody Rhodes, guys, the babyfaces that are higher up in the card? If he can't take care of Sheamus, which like,
oh whoa,
so that's my.
So you don't think I see Sheamus and Rusev kind of on the same level? I
do too now, unfortunately. But
no, I'm saying because I see Sheamus as very highly regarded. Like he has been a guy that for years, and I think his character has changed. I think before he was kind of like, at least I looked at him a similar way to you that you did. Wow, loud siren, but it's here, Jordan Grace or Scott Steiner, one of the two. I've really enjoyed how he's kind of been built up as this like brute, and this like when you hear that you're going against Sheamus, people are like, oh no, like he's got himself kind of back over. I'm actually kind of. He seems like he'd be a guy that's like up your alley. I'm kind of surprised that you're not big on Sheamus.
It's less about me not liking Sheamus or considering him much of a threat in this year. It's how much I love Rusev and still think Rusev is new and not someone that should be taking losses on television to a guy at Sheamus's peak right now, where I'm like, I just don't like Rusev now already taking a loss to Sheamus. And here's the thing, I like Sheamus enough for I think he's perfect in the Braun Strowman Big Show role of a big jarring man that can elevate a talent. Only thing is, if you have him win over that talent, to me now, I'm taking Rusev a lot less serious. The Accolade, when that gets locked in now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm now less inclined to believe that we'll finish a match just because Sheamus kicked out of it. And I don't mean to be dissing Sheamus a little
Yeah.
bit, especially if I were to meet the fella, because that'd be very scary to try to face that music. But yeah, this match was solid and not as good as their first one. Also disappointed that Rusev was going to cheating methods to try to pull out the shillelagh and then just got kicked in the face. So the way it was done was also pretty entertaining, but I don't know. I think the wrong guy won here is basically my sentiment.
Yeah, I think I get that. I guess I don't see Rusev as that guy. I think this is as high as he goes in the company. I don't see him touching a world. He'll never touch a world title again. I think you can
sneak him into being a contender and having him.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Having him
I think you could
build him up to be someone that could challenge if Cody's still like a face world champion, like a Cody Rusev, where Rusev is the redeemer and actually a vicious badass that I like. Oh, maybe there is a chance that Rusev could beat Cody. Now we're nowhere near that after this loss to Sheamus. And I don't think we're ever going to get there now. I think seemingly I think you're right. I think Rusev is now where Rusev is, high mid card, low mid card, because now this loss. I think this is a huge loss for Rusev, and as a fan of his, I'm a bit devastated.
No, see, I don't know. I appreciate where you're coming from. I especially when he came back. When he first came back, he was definitely presented as a guy. Oh, he's going to be a top heel. However, whether it's to Rusev or it's to booking or whatever, this is the Rusev we get in every single company. It's the Rusev we got in every single time.
Well, at least in AEW, he refused the job, so he just wouldn't get booked. So I almost kind of prefer that than going on TV and getting your ass kicked. Don't want ass kicked, but losing the match.
I think. I don't know. I think I just see Sheamus in a higher regard, and I think like. Fair. I like the quality of matches they're having. Not necessarily. This one was fine. Their first one, or the one that was before this one, was unreal. It's one of my favorite matches of the year. I think if we lead to a best of 7, or even just continue this feud. Now, I think my tone is a little bit different if Sheamus ends up winning the feud, because I think why part of like I don't think this loss does anything for Rusev. I don't think this harms anyone. Only because I see this continuing. Mm-hmm. I think I'm closer to your sentiment if we get down the line, whether it's a best of 7 or just more matches or a big blow off, falls count or not falls count anywhere, Iron Man or falls count anywhere, last man standing is what I was thinking of. And then Rusev loses that, then I'm more on your side of like, we really, because to your Rusev, Sheamus point, is as much as I do like Sheamus, and it sounds like you just kind of want the best for Rusev.
Yes.
Where I love Sheamus. I think he's like the past handful of years, like this is the best I think he's ever wrestled. And I think it's the best he's ever looked, the best he's ever been presented. Maybe you could argue, he did win a world title. But in terms of in-ring, it's like the most entertained I've ever been by him. But Sheamus is not ever going to win a world title again. I am not even confident anymore he's getting that Grand Slam.
Oh, yeah, the IC title, yeah. Okay.
So, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. So, like, I definitely get where you're coming from, where it's like, oh, if Sheamus doesn't have that potential, then, is he bringing Rusev down with him? But I think I just love that, like, it's how stacked this mid-card is. And they could both feud for, like, the IC title. I think Rusev will be a great contender for the IC. But yeah, I am really curious kind of see where this goes from here.
It's just too soon to 50-50 book your big foreign badass heel that's fairly new compared to Sheamus, who's been here forever. So that's what. And the thing is too, Rusev had to then go to cheating methods in the first match using the ring post, which I think a very unique, fun spot and cool, but that was kind of cheating a bit. They called back to it during this match, and then even so much Rusev then took Sheamus' shillelagh, which I kind of forgot Sheamus was rocking the shillelagh. So when he pulled out, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And then failed, got the bro kick for his troubles. So yeah, maybe it's not completely too late, but man, I'm a bit disappointed.
I think to give you some Rusev hope, I think you're okay so far. Mm-hmm. But in terms of your hope and desire for Rusev, like I see the direction we're going to your side. I guess I've never been like a big Rusev guy, to be honest. I think my point is I guess I've never been a huge Rusev guy. And Sheamus has won me over so much in the past years, and I like the matchup, but I think again, not to reiterate the same point, but Rusev should come out of this feud winning.
Yes,
ultimately,
and then
you know what I mean?
I think this could call for too with how physical and how the rules have been bent for both their matches. We're going to be leading up to like a no disqualification or some kind of gimmick match where there's no rules and we get even more weapons and physicality. Then Rusev can then maybe perhaps dominate and show out that he's going to move on from this rivalry with Sheamus as the victor and definitely be hungry for gold. Hopefully. I think Rusev with the IC strap would be dope. Mm-hmm. I think you could also steal a PLE with him main eventing against a babyface world champion. So if you book him right, and the thing is, you already kind of hurt me a little bit with this loss to Sheamus, but I just remember when the Accolade used to end matches.
Yeah.
And then, and then there also is some legs to eventually down the road doing a face turn and bringing back the Rusev Day because people love that shit. People still will try to get that chant going. And
they are not leaning into Rusev Day.
They refuse. They refuse to have Rusev Day be a thing. Which, like, hey, I guess so. There's already 2 days in the WWE. So maybe that's a thing. They already have the New Day and the Judgment Day, so they don't want another day.
Another T-shirt to print.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
The Redeemer.
Yeah, they haven't done a whole lot of that. Redeeming, I guess that is. All right, we'll move on to. I don't have much to say about Punk and Gunther. The promo was fine. It was just Punk being like, I'm a good guy, I'm gonna win, and then Gunther coming out and being like, no, you're not, and that was kind of it. So
corporate made Punk, man. It's I'm a diehard CM Punk fan. I love CM Punk, but it is kind of getting to the point now where I'm looking at old Philly Phil and I'm like, damn, man, the old rebellious Punk, long gone. You know,
it was never there.
The voice he was always pretending. He was never the voice of the voiceless. He was the voice of Phil.
Let's jump over to SmackDown. We're gonna kind of get into the end of the show here, but there's a couple of things that happened on SmackDown that we should cover. We had Andrade and Rey Fenix win the number 1 contenders match, and they will go up against and lose to the Wyatt Six. Oh. I don't know. I have a real. If you can't tell, I guess I don't know what side of the bed I will. I have a real glass half empty view of the world. This pod episode. I don't know what's going on.
Gotta believe in that tag team. That's a good tag team.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them so much. I think my sentiment is that. I want them to win. I love them so much. I'm scared because the Wyatt Six have been putting me to sleep for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as a truther and a believer of the Wyatt Six and Uncle Howdy, how come Uncle Howdy and Eric Rowan aren't wrestling? How come they had the 2 boring guys wrestling? You know what I mean?
2 newer, greener guys wrestling. They're both veterans of the industry, but. I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, and like I kind of hold my tongue a little bit when it comes to the Wyatt Six because they do have such a big fan base, and also like when you criticize like the character, it's also kind of like hinting towards the not liking the whole, because they are basically a Bray Wyatt tribute act, and like I kind of feel myself not wanting to be too negative when regarding to talk about them because it comes off of like, oh, what, you don't like Bray, whatever, you don't miss Bray, like of course I do, but. Yeah, but even when Bray was around doing this gimmick, I was not a fan of that. I thought that was some of the worst stuff on TV at the time, and still it's not hidden from me. Although like the few times they've like had comebacks and like had those moments on SmackDown, those were kind of fun. And I remember when they initially came back, I'm like, you know what, give them the tag team titles. I kind of regret saying that because now they have the tag team titles and they've seemingly were a glass of cold water on a pretty hot SmackDown tag team division. And then they made them all kind of formulate together to be against the Wyatt Six, and they kind of now are...
How are we ever going to beat Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy?
How are we going to...
How in the world is Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa going to find a way?
Ciampa looks like a freaking chiseled out of stone, and like they're 2 of the greatest NXT world champions ever. Like, how are we gonna do it? Street Profits had a great run. So it's tough, but maybe they also see the writing on the wall. Maybe we get a big... they kind of owe Rey Fenix some gold after him losing at WrestleMania and him not being pushed as strongly as his brother on Monday Night Raw. And, to go back against the criticisms of like, oh, why are they doing a tag team with Rey Fenix and not even the tag team with his brother? Well, Andrade's a damn beast too.
Andrade's amazing.
And you could be tag team champions with anyone that you have chemistry with, not just, blood relations or whatever. So I would definitely be super supportive.
And as long as they're both Mexican.
Yeah, they have to have something in common. We can't be too crazy here. Great point. But I mean, hey, I'm holding out hope. I'm thinking they can maybe pull up an upset. And I think, we kind of faced during facing almost every PLE, we're like, okay, what do you do with the tag team straps? Raw or SmackDown, put them on SummerSlam in a big multi-man match and have them. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, why isn't there a SummerSlam and we have maybe 1 or 2 more weeks left, whatever it is? Especially seeing how good that TLC match was on SmackDown post Mania, and they went out there and proved like, hey, why the fuck did you leave us off the card? You have Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, DIY. Now you have Rey Fenix and Andrade included. You had Pretty Deadly and Los Garzas. You got the Wyatt Six, which is like, disrupting things, but they're still a team. It is such a hot division. People love it. Why aren't we getting a car crash of a match for the tag titles for the SmackDown?
And it'd be 20, if you do it at SummerSlam, it'd be 25 years to the date of the original TLC at SummerSlam. The 3-way. So give me that. Give me what I want, WWE.
So is this match happening on SmackDown?
It is. It's announced on SmackDown because they're apparently just not good enough to be on SummerSlam, which stinks. But hey, there's 2 nights and there's still some time left. So maybe they have this match and it'll call for something to happen at SummerSlam.
I'm thinking we have this match on SmackDown. There's shenanigans. And then that goes to like, oh, if all you teams want to fight so bad, why don't you all fight at SummerSlam? And they have a big silly match. Sure.
Hell yeah.
Give me something. I'll even be fine with just a regular tag match. I'm not gonna bite the hand that feeds me. I'll be fine with whatever.
Because if we're gonna get 2 tag matches at SummerSlam and neither of them be for the tag team titles, that'd be kind of silly. You might have the Jelly Roll match and the Roman Reigns match both be tag team matches, and
at least you have Raquel and Roxy.
True.
Against,
Charlotte and Alexa. Looking forward to that.
It's at least we're doing something with some sort of tag titles, but I am a big fan of this division, but let's figure it out because we were on track and then we just took a little bit of a detour, but I don't know, let's figure it out. All right, and then I don't know, there's like other stuff that happened.
It's like, how do you end the Wyatt Six too? I think one of the only things I can think of to maybe save them is at some point Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, they're just like, they snap out of it like, we're not doing this anymore, and then we're gonna be ourselves type
if
thing.
If I was Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis, I would hold on to Wyatt Six my dear life.
Fair enough. That might be the only
seeing what they did before this. I would not let this go.
Not a big sexy Dexy guy.
All right, we're gonna end the show with Cena and Cody ending SmackDown. This was a weird promo, and I think I loved it. Not sure. Cena coming out, seemingly playing that he's breaking character. Like, hey everyone, sorry. Or he comes in first, he goes, Cody, sit down. Cody, have a seat. And he's like, hey, I got some unfortunate news. I can't wrestle at SummerSlam. I'm filming a movie. And like doing a shtick of being out of character. Because like, people start booing and him just going like, no, guys, seriously. Like, no, guys, I'm sorry. Like, Cody, you'll get your rematch. Like, I'm sure. But like, guys, seriously, this sucks. Like, I wanted to wrestle. Like, did such a good job as if he was breaking character and like whatever. And then Cody was like, that's bullshit. And then did the funniest leap through the table, ended up signing the contract with John Cena's hand, which the joke going around the internet has been, that's not going to hold up on in court. So we got this match. It's going to be no disqualification, which I think, thank God. Funny segment. Did Cena get you? What do you think about this segment?
Cena did not get me. I'm a veteran wrestling fan. I was not fooled. However, I did enjoy the shtick, and I thought he delivered.
I thought it was smart.
Yeah, I
liked it.
And to the critics of the whole, that won't hold up in court thing. Well, guess what? Then I would be remiss to tell Triple H and Stephanie McMahon that their marriage is a sham because Triple H married Stephanie while Stephanie was passed out in Vegas.
Right.
So, hey, consent is important, though. Shout out consent. But the optics of that, very heelish, very aggressive to
From the Codester?
from the Codester, from Cody Rhodes to, I mean, of course, putting Cena through a table, that was barbaric. But then to grab his hand and make him sign the contract was very like, oh wow, it's a very aggressive thing. He didn't flinch, as he said, which I love that for Cody. And people reading way too much into the whole split screen thing. They tried the split
that
screen.
Was so bad.
It was weird.
I appreciate production choices and taking risks, but it was so weird.
It was definitely funny, but then people kind of lead into it like, oh, this is the double turn. This is the exact moment where they switch from heel to face, which I'm like, you're reaching,
Their
brother.
souls switched.
Yeah. I mean, but then, given though, even at Night of Champions when Cody was working Randy and being kind of using some heelish tactics, I'm like, oh, this could be setting up for the road to SummerSlam where we might get a double turn at SummerSlam. And now we're kind of at the point now where if Cody doesn't turn heel, in a sense, that's kind of a heel turn. Because I think a lot of fans, I mean, kind of internet fans, sure, and that's a small portion of the WWE fan base. And there's probably many reasons for maybe optics of like, we're not ready for a Cody heel turn. But it's kind of reminiscent to the AEW days, because I was a big AEW fan in the early iteration and big fan of Cody Rhodes. I'll follow you to the end, and I mean that because I love Cody Rhodes. And during AEW, I was someone that was like kind of pissed off at the fan base for being very critical of Cody Rhodes for not turning heel to the point where he'd be cutting face promos and getting booed.
Yeah.
And it became such an issue where it's like, okay, Cody, just turn heel and then we'll love you. And he refused. And like I think that was overall kind of the right move for him. Maybe not him in AEW, but for him it was.
Also, like him, like refusing also to ever win the world title, which is like, what a guy.
Yeah,
what a guy.
And then sticking to that too. But
Yeah.
that was kind of a dumb booking decision.
Dumb move, but,
yeah,
but I get the sentiment.
Yeah. But now we're at a point now too where I feel like there is a good amount of people sort of expecting and wanting a Cody heel turn at SummerSlam, especially for the prospects of, that will also then turn John Cena back to a good guy, which I think does make complete sense for the story and where we're heading, considering John Cena only has 8 or 10 dates left, and we all yearn for Super Cena, super good Cena, and it would make a lot of sense. So there is now some expectations of a heel turn, which I would be kind of sad to say that if Cody doesn't do that, then the crowd might turn on him anyway. So that's something to look at for regarding the SummerSlam.
Yeah, the closer we get to it, I don't know if I think the crowd will turn on necessarily. I think the crowd will be more upset that Cena is still a heel than it would be upset that Cody isn't a heel. But yeah, the closer we get into this match, I am also getting closer in the camp. Like the turn needs to happen. I get it's risky. It's risky, but it's not. Because if you do the double turn, then I've always heard the conversation of, oh, they're not going to turn Cody heel because he is the big baby face. He sells all this merch. He is like the shaking hands, kissing babies guy. But for the rest of the year, a little bit of the rest of the year, for a handful of dates the rest of the year, you have Cena taking that place back for a while, and then you can always change Cody back or whatever. I don't know. It's not that we're making our predictions yet, but like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I think Cody's gonna walk out with the title.
Me too.
And then whether that's, I could see them not doing the turn, and then. But you have to, what do you do with Cena after? I do think regardless of Cody turning heel or not, I do think after this you're turning Cena face. Mm-hmm. And then I don't think you necessarily, because I think if you do a double turn, then you can keep the Cena-Cody feud going. I could see them, Cody getting the title, Cena turning heel, and then you go on and do more just like final matches or whatever. I don't know. I really, really don't know what I don't know.
I don't think there even is a big risk in terms of like, oh, do we really want to turn our top babyface Cody into a heel? Because guess what? Cody heel merch is gonna fucking bang.
Yeah,
and
that's a good
then we reach an echelon as a WWE superstar as if you're as big a star as Cody Rhodes, it don't really matter. They're gonna follow you to the end no matter what. Roman Reigns, face or heel, they're gonna have the fans.
Yeah,
I go back to like the Rock and the Attitude Era where this dude would switch from face to heel all the time. It didn't matter because they're just gonna. It doesn't matter because they're gonna still chant his catchphrases, buy his merch, raise the eyebrow, whatever. And I think the same thing for Cody, where I think this would actually prolong his superstardom, where it's like, oh, he transitioned to heel. He listened to the fans a little bit. And the thing is, when you become a heel and you're the bad guy for so long, look at some of our favorite wrestlers ever: Randy Orton, Edge, vice versa.
Some of the most beloved.
Beloved how much when they were bad guys, we loved them, and looking back and being fond of them. So I think a Cody aggressive heel run is what a lot of fans want, and I think a lot of fans might get. I think though it'd be smarter though, in some ways, to do the heel turn at SummerSlam and do it mid-match, where it's now announced that it's a street fight. That was kind of strange too, where so Cody Rhodes kind of announced that it being a street fight as he signed the contract for John. He was like, and read the fine print. It's a street fight, which kind of reminded me of WrestleMania X7, which like randomly right before the match started, it was announced, I think Howard Finkel got on the mic, was like, this match is a no disqualification match. And then Jim Ross got on commentary, was like, who the hell made it a no DQ match? And then that led into the turn of Vince McMahon coming down and then passing the chair to Austin. Sure. And then Austin not even using wrestling moves, just chair, in the midsection, and then gets the pin. I think if Cody were to do something like that, or like, kind of take it way too far in advance, the way he puts Cena out, which then I think too will give Cena some room to be off TV, and then of course illustrious comeback, babyface, because like given like Cena's heel run, people still buying the merch. People still love him. It's like, I'm kind of close to saying like it was kind of a failure in some aspect, but it did make for compelling television and got the conversation going. It was something that even like I said, people want Cody to a heel run from Cody now. People have always wanted to see a heel run, and we did get it, but maybe it was too little too late in terms of his career, because again, it's winding down.
And I think we just when it was first announced, and he was kind of even saying this, like we kind of expected him to be way more full time, and he was like, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna do it. And then he's like filmed like 2 movies, and like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I as someone who's been defending this heel run, like the farther we get into it, like I'm not at the point of calling it a failure, but it definitely did not hit expectations where I think it should have, you know? I will say though, I do think, and this is like my one, when we're doing predictions or whatever, or doing the Discord predictions, you know how sometimes it's like a bonus question or whatever? Yeah. Cody's got to make Cena bloody.
Yes.
We need Cena versus JBL, Great American Bash, sort of Cena dripping in blood for then people, and then like, there's gotta be a moment, because it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, I think, for Cody to be doing this badass Cody shit to then get people to boo him. So it needs to be some sort of super brutal shit where Cena's bleeding, take the blood, wipe it, you need to do some crazy shit.
Hell yeah. And like you said that too, because the thing is, like, as a wrestling fan, and even a fan of Cody, where it's like you're gonna turn heel, but I think everyone's gonna think it's so cool that like he's not even generating like actual heel heat. What you bring back is Brandy Rhodes. Get Brandy Rhodes on television, make her a valet manager, and AEW fans despise Brandy Rhodes. That's kind of what started the whole regime change and like the feeling change of Cody and AEW, was like how much Brandy was on the show, and like kind of they took the frustrations of like Brandy's storylines of like, oh, why is your wife on the show, this and that. And I think Brandy's very talented too. I think she's good on the mic, and I think she could generate some heat where it's like if she becomes like Cody's valet and gets on screen and kind of does like I don't want to say Vicky Guerrero excuse me gimmick, but like kind of talk for Cody, I think it would be great. I think that would generate actual heel heat for Cody. So that's something you can go down to.
folks, I think that's going to do it. We're going to head over to the Patreon. We got a bunch of your questions we're going to chat about. So head over to patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. Thank you for joining us. Next week, we have our predictions episode, and the SCW predictions title will be on the line. Stream is a TBA, to be honest. We got to figure out and kind of stream is going to, especially with it 2 nights. It's a weird thing. But I also might be going to it. It's like the sick indie show there's a whole lot of stuff.
Gotta make him say,
I know. Patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. Thank you for being here. Go check us out over there. And please watch the latest Wrestling Society X video.
Uncut editions on the Patreon, too.
True. That is true. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye. One for the road. See you over on the Patreon. Said the word Patreon a lot.
Patreon. Starting a wrestling book club would be kind of lit.
With Metro Boomin recently saying he wanted to produce some wrestling theme songs, which rappers do you think could make good themes, and for which wrestlers? Oh, I'm gonna move to LA or move to New York City or like and do this big thing and like whatever. Gator Golf.
So Gator Golf is basically, so I stole this idea. We're doing a vlog for Mass Music Radio
Sick.
back then, and an idea I stole from actually BTE.